we are a performer at this year's Classic City Fringe Festival. It is the first year of the festival. I'm excited about anything that supports the local arts. Athens has forever been known as a city where great music comes out of. Well, that's just one aspect of our art scene. We have great poetry, we have great storytellers, we have great comedy. It's important that we nurture all our arts, starting with children up to people my age that are very old. Now, I'm part of, like you said, the Ass Storytelling Quartet. We are very lucky. These women are from out of town. They are professional storytellers. They travel the circuit. When they do a local festival, they tend to pick up one person. That would be me. I'm local. They decided that they would pick me up and let me tell stories. We did decide on a subject matter. The subject matter is I can't tell you why. Now, all the stories will revolve around that, and I'm excited because some of the stories, they go from, I can't tell you why. I've had the same gynecologist for 15 years. It's not my story. There's some that are, I can't tell you why my mother would rather me die than my brother. It's a little heavy. There's some that I can't tell you why a liberal ended up in the military and ultimately in Iraq. That would be me if you notice the vote left on my knuckles in the Democrat donkey. I am the liberal. Keeping with the subject matter, I thought I would tell stories not along those lines, but I can't tell you why. I will be the amateur of the group, so please bear with me. I'm not a professional. I'm possibly not even charismatic. I just have a lot of tattoos and scare people. And along that subject matter, a lot of times the first thing I get when people meet me is, why did you get your face tattooed? In case anybody didn't notice, I've got a small tattoo that runs along here. And I get that a lot, is why did you get your face tattooed? The truth is, I cannot tell you why I got my face tattooed, or my face tattooed. What I can tell you is the story behind me getting my face tattooed. And it's a very entertaining story. The year was 2007. I lived in Riverside, California. When I say I lived in Riverside, what I actually did was drive truck, and on the weekends, I would come home and I would live with my tattoo artist in his studio. Now, my tattoo artist owned a studio called Flesh Wounds Tattoo, and it was home to many of what we would call Latino gangsters. And then there was me, who they affectionately nicknamed quickly Hillbilly. Now, I never thought of myself as a hillbilly being from this area. I thought of myself as quite progressive. But apparently, anybody with a southern accent in Riverside, California is hillbilly. So that's what I was called. Now, one night we were at the tattoo shop, and we were hanging out, and they decided to have what was called a cholo party. I didn't know what a cholo party was, but hey, not ever turning down anything that has me to forward my life. I said, I'll be part of it. I'll stay here. Well, about 2 hours into the cholo party, it was 9 o'clock at night, my friend says, hey, I've got some mushrooms. Now, I said, man, I'm feeling kind of funny from drinking, but I'll take some. He said, well, I'm glad you said that because that pizza we ate earlier had mushrooms on it. I said, well, dear God, man. So at this point, I started to notice that I was seeing trails. Now, trails are very friendly. I don't know if anybody here has ever done hallucinogens, but it was my first time, and I was having a good time. Now, the cholo party was starting to go into full effect. There were some pretty scary guys there. Now, you got to remember, at the time, I had 0 tattoos on my face or my head, just a few on my arms. I looked kind of like an outsider. And what they did was, I started to trip more because every 10, 15 minutes, my tattoo artist would come by and he would stick his hand in my mouth with not 1 or 2, but a handful of mushrooms. And he would say, drink orange juice. Apparently, drinking orange juice intensifies the high. So I got really tripped the fuck out. At this point, there was little Mexicans about this big that were bouncing around the tattoo studio. I saw trails, and I started to think I was a comedian. Now, in a room full of cholo gangsters, not the best thing in the world to do. But so we were at one point, we were at the thing, and I was hanging out. I think I had pulled my pants up and buttoned 2 buttons like I was one of them. And we were outside looking at one of their lowriders. And believe me, beautiful lowriders, beautiful cars, a lot of money in them. But I made a joke, and I hate to say it was kind of stereotypically Southern. Not necessarily racist, but probably stereotypical. I looked at one, he had the small steering wheel on, and I said, hey man, you know why you got that small steering wheel on your car? He said, why? I said, so you can drive in handcuffs. It got quiet. This guy, I bandana down to here, I'm sorry, he goes. And I swear to God, do I remember his name? No, I was on mushrooms, y'all guys. Follow me, I'm on mushrooms. But I remember exactly what he said. He goes, this guy thinks he's Larry the Cable Vato. Make me laugh. At that point, I realized I wasn't funny. In fact, I was offensive. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know. He says, no, make me laugh or entertain me. I said, I'm sorry. He goes, make me laugh or entertain me. He had a gun right here. I said, now I swear to God, let's tattoo my face. Now, my tattoo artist, who's normally a friend to me, was also on mushrooms. And said, that's a good idea. No, it's not, but he did it. So now, at this time, I'm in the chair. I'm not sure. I'm possibly an honorary member of 13th Street. I'm not sure. But I'm in the chair, and the needle's not even hurting. It's barking at me. So as I'm getting tattooed, I see a tattoo needle, and it's going, arr, arr. And so what seems like 30 minutes later is actually 11 hours later. Wow. I have a full tattoo on my face. I look in the mirror, and I said, I need to go to Vegas. Now, I don't know where I need to go to Vegas came from, but I live about 3 hours from Vegas, 4 hours from Vegas. I said, give me my chopper keys. I had a chopper. And they said, okay. But hey, you can't just get on that chopper. Here's an ounce of mushrooms. So they gave me more mushrooms. And I got on my chopper, and I'm eating mushrooms like they're chiclets as I'm going down to California. And I'm in the desert. And I swear to this day, the desert was hot pink. And it was warm, and it wrapped its arms around me as I'm driving to Vegas. At one point, I saw a little crow, a cartoon crow, and he was writing a guy a ticket in a convertible. Now, if you've ever watched the Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes cartoon, he was literally dancing like this. I can only imagine that it was a real cop, but I kept going. And I got to Vegas, and I checked into the MGM Jam. Now, the great thing about Vegas is it's the only town you can be completely honest and nobody cares. I checked in, I said, hey, I'm tripping balls on mushrooms. I need a room. I just got my face tattooed. They gave me a room. I went and I played poker. Now, as I'm playing poker, the whole time I see like I would get kings, and it would be taking that sword and sticking it in its head. And I would look at people and say, I got pocket kings, but I'm on mushrooms. There's no need to believe me. And they would. Now, like I said, that's how I ended up with my face tattoo. I can't tell you why I did it. The only thing I can tell you is 2 days later, I had eaten an ounce of mushrooms, lost $5,000. And I'm pretty sure I'm now a member of the Mexican gang.